How do you start your day? What's your process to get organized and focused? Would you say that you actually make the most efficient use of your time? Here's a secret. Most executives I talk to don't have a system or a fail proof process to start their days and structure them, which means that they waste precious time, attention, and energy reactively responding to workday needs and bouncing from one to do to the other without any kind of strategic focus. The end results, these leaders end up feeling more stressed because they're ultimately disorganized. They're more frazzled because they cede control over their time, and they're less impactful and effective, which in the long run is going to wear down their teams and can potentially cost them their jobs. Hi, my name is Dr. Alessandra Wall. I am the founder of Noteworthy. I'm an executive coach, and I spent nearly 2 decades working as a clinical psychologist. Today, I coach smart, driven, ambitious executive women in finance and STEM to build careers that are both wildly successful and deeply fulfilling. One of the ways I help my clients achieve high levels of success in their career without burning out is by helping them build key systems to become incredibly effective and unlock impact and influence. If you'd like to feel in control of your day, get more done while actually working less, and cement your reputation as a strategic and successful leader, you're going to want to watch this video. Noteworthy leaders are founders. They're C-suite executives, senior VPs, and managing directors. These women have teams, leaders, clients, all counting on them to get it done. That means that in addition to their never-ending to-do list, they're called upon dozens of times a day to provide on-the-spot support. And saying no isn't an option. So how do they stay focused, meet their deadlines, and still get home at a reasonable time? Well, the first strategy I teach noteworthy leaders is to move away from a master to-do list and instead create what I like to call a do not forget list or a DNF list. A do not forget list is a running list of all the things, big and small, that you need or want to do. Your DNF list should always be easily accessible so that anytime you think of something that you need to do or you want to do, you can immediately add it to this list. Your DNF list is a fail-proof process to make sure that nothing falls through the cracks. More importantly, with a DNF list, there's no more feeling stressed or feeling like you're failing because at the end of the day, all your to-dos aren't crossed off. DNF lists are actually never ending. So the only time you'll have nothing to add to that list is actually when you stop doing anything with your days or your time. So at this point, you might be wondering, what's the difference between a DNF list and your current to-do list? And the answer for most people is actually nothing. And that's the problem with your to-do list. To-do lists right now tend to have 50, 100 or more topics on them. They're never ending. And they can be very stressful every day to come back to a list that doesn't seem to get any shorter. So the second strategy we teach noteworthy leaders and noteworthy executives is to create a separate to-do list. Approach it this way. Instead of starting your day feeling overwhelmed by a 50-item to-do list, try this. Every morning, when you sit down at your desk or before you start anything else, I want you to grab your DNF list and then consider how much non-meeting time you have available. Determine what your top priorities are, if there are any urgencies for the day, and then choose no more than 3 items from your DNF list and transfer them to a daily to-do list. I want to repeat this, 3 items. Trust me, if you do this properly, you're actually going to become ridiculously effective. And paradoxically, you're going to get way more done, but with much less stress. One important thing to consider when you're trying to select which 3 items to transfer on your daily to-do list is, first and foremost, the initial task you select should be something that feels so significant that if it's the only thing you get done that day, you would leave work feeling very accomplished. And then items 2 and 3 should be selected based on how much time and energy, mental and physical, you think you're going to have after completing item number 1. My clients are often surprised when we start this and honestly a bit anxious when I first ask them to practice this process because 3 to-dos seems like nothing given what they usually have on their plate. But it actually doesn't take long before they come back to me and they're relieved and excited by how much more productive they feel, how much more strategically focused they become. An example of this is my client, Mars. So she's the top human resource executive at her company. And not only is she responsible for addressing the day-to-day operations and needs of her company's workforce, she's also their first leader to carve out a formal HR structure and process. So if you think about Mars' regular days, she has 1,000 things to do on any given day. And sometimes that can leave her feeling scattered and inefficient. But with this process, she's been able to set a clear focus, follow through on top priorities, and do all of that without giving up her evenings and her time with her family. So there's one more step that I want you to take and that noteworthy women take to build more focus and impact in their day. And it's to choose the right system to structure this process. So whether you want to start inputting reminders and tasks directly into your calendar, or you have a dedicated notebook where you keep track of all your DNFs and a bullet journal for your to-dos, or if you're like me and you like using a time blocking app to both create a digital list and structure activities, what I want you to think of is not just set up a process that's right, but create a process that's actually right for you and right for the way you work and you operate. By doing this, you're going to ensure that you create a stable habit that will actually be crisis and frazzle proof. I hope you like this video. Bottom line, my goal is to give you the skills to kill it at work without killing yourself. Noteworthy women want to make a big impact. I want them to get there on their terms. If you like this video, please hit the like button. And you can also subscribe and you'll be notified every time I share new strategies, tips, and insights on leadership for executive women.